That's how people will know that we are his disciples. If we have that kind of love, if we have that kind of heart. You can go around saying I'm a Christian and talking and quoting scripture and all that. But if we don't act that way, if we don't live that way, then people are not going to believe that we are Christians. And frankly, if we're not living that way, we may not be Christians. We probably aren't Christians. These things that I've already covered show us that if we are Christians, these are the things that we will be doing and that we will want to do. There's so much that, and I'm trying to go fast, and I'm skipping things and I'm missing things, but I want you to think about everything that happened during this week. Christ deemed it to be crucial. He spent his last week doing these things. How many times did I read that he said he was troubled in spirit, that his heart was heavy, that he knew what was coming? But he put that aside to teach these things and show these things. And therefore, they are extremely crucial. And we need to take heart how important they are. You know, when I read these things and I look at these things, I can look at myself and say, do I fulfill that? And most of the time, I got to say, no, I don't. Before Jesus left, with his last days here, he said, these are the things that matter. If they were the things that mattered enough to him to spend that time getting them across, they should matter enough to me to live them. I'm going to stop there and take this up next week, but we need to examine ourselves. We need to look at ourselves. These parables that he told, where do we fall in them? Which one of the people in them is us? Or are we the ones who say, yeah, I'll go work in the vineyard, but then we don't? Or are we the ones who take what God has given us and sit on it? Where do we fall in these parables? We need to take a good look at ourselves. Don't take this the wrong way. There are many of these things that I read that cause me to really think. If all I have ever done was got saved and go to church and sit on the pew, am I really a Christian? Jesus is showing here what it is to be a Christian. This is how a Christian acts. This is what a Christian looks like. This is what a Christian does. I believe there are many people who maybe one time said a prayer. That don't mean you're saved. We need to examine ourselves. Scripture that says, examine yourself whether or not you are in the faith. If we are truly born again, something happens in here that causes us to do things, to be a certain way, to act a certain way, to live a certain way. I know I've been wrong, and it's a whole lot different than usual, but I just really feel that these things are important, and I would encourage you to go this week, go through each of the Gospels, and read that last week, and think about what's going on and what's being said, and as you do that, remember in your mind, Jesus is on his way to the cross. He's troubled in spirit, he's down, he's heavy, but he's still doing these things so that those disciples and those who would come after know these things. We are those who come after. and we need to know these things. Think about it. Pray about it. Read those scriptures during this week. I just have this heaviness that I've got up here and bored you and you're not really getting it. I want you to get it. That's why I want you to go read these things and think about it the way that I said to think about it. If you do that, I'm sure God will speak to you. He did me. It matters, or God wouldn't, I put it in the Word. It matters, or Christ wouldn't have spent his last days talking about these things and teaching these things. I'll stop.